It's just like the original, except without the good songs. It's missing one of their leads. It's kind of a PG family film, none of the drug use. But there are car crashes. That's right, we saw Blues Brothers 2000, so you know what that means.
Schwarzenegger grow a baby in his belly, rock a rhinestone vest while ripping Justin to Kelly, or maybe see a burlesque show with Nick Crow and take a boat with speed to hitting cruise control. J-Man, Big Paul in the beautiful June, gonna take you from the goob all the way to the room. Ran the games of Street Fighter, helped to blow off steam, just a sucker punch the odd life of Timothy Green. Sharknado, the birdemic, how we staying alive. They call it in the badass and he's on the line, cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice, cause a bad Jim Varney looking kind of nice. Paul and June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots getting paid. They judge a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you, how did this get made? That's a good look, Haru.
What's that smell?
Woo-wee! What's going on, everybody? I am your host, Paul Scheer, and welcome to Matinee Monday. I don't know why I said woo-wee, but I think it was because this movie is a stinker. That's right. Blues Brothers didn't need a sequel, and it certainly comes nowhere close to matching its predecessor. John Goodman steps in for the great John Belushi, and this is where How Did This Get Made meets someone called Scribbles. That's right, his name isn't Scribbles, it's Buster, but we were confused, and it caused a lot of merch for the show, which you can still get at tpublic.com. This movie really upset Jason. In a major way, Jason did not like this film. We recorded this at the Onion Fest in Chicago. One of our favorite audiences, great crowd. People came in costume. It was a lot of fun. But this movie lacks anything but fun. So don't watch this movie. Just listen to this podcast. And you can listen to us right now tell you a little bit about how Jim Belushi turned down a starring role in this, and we kind of can't wrap our heads around the messy logic of Elwood Blues' prison sentence, which makes no sense. But well, who cares at this point? I will tell you something that makes this movie all the sadder. So Dan Aykroyd owns the House of Blues, performs a lot as the Blues Brothers with Jim Belushi. Great actor Jim Belushi.
Oh no! Chicago, what? Oh!
And Jim Belushi.
Wow. Not a big fan of According to Jim here in Chicago.
Jim Belushi said no. They are performing together as the Blues Brothers. Dan Aykroyd goes, let's make another movie. He goes, no. So at that point, if you're not dissuaded by the fact that your partner has passed, that you were a duo, and you want to continue, then the person that you're doing the thing with says no, and you keep on going, that's what this movie feels like. Too many people said no, and he said, nah, I got this one.
Yeah.
This movie is disrespectful. It is.
I mean, this is I wrote here too, like, we also are learning with, is it Jake or Elwood who he is?
Elwood.
You're also learning with Elwood that John Belushi has passed, and they deliver a lot of information in this movie off, like, camera. Like Frank Oz, famous director, who was in the first movie, delivers the news to Elwood and goes, oh, he doesn't know his brother's dead? Which, I mean, what hoop do we have to jump through for that information not to come to pass?
And also, like, how does he's been in prison, sure, but nobody's told him about all the major deaths in his life.
So here's my question, because I don't know what happened 18 years before, but so John Belushi wasn't in prison too?
No,
he was.
They both were for arguably the same exact thing.
Okay, so they were both in prison, but different prisons?
No, same prison.
Same prison, and he didn't hear the news?
I think this movie hypothesizes a world in which Jake was released, and then Elwood still
Really?
had
In that
time.
24 hours he was waiting for the bus?
Well, no. I think
Why does he have to wait? Because I thought he was waiting for Jake to pick him up.
yes,
Me
he
too.
is.
So then they come down and they're like, Jake's not coming, FYI, RIP. But none of
Which
that is
he has-
spoken. That's in an area, like an above shot, where they're just like, and then it cuts into it and he's like, I'm so sorry. And that's it.
And he arguably has no reaction to that.
And then-
like he doesn't. Drop.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
And then one of the strippers comes to pick him up, and she's a day late? Like, why wasn't she, if she was the one that was meant to pick him up, why wasn't she there? He stood there overnight.
So
And-
wait, was he waiting for his brother, though?
Yes,
So his brother
because-
was out of prison.
Yes.
Oh, so he wasn't in prison with him.
No. They went to prison together.
Together.
I'm saying, I'm
do we-
fan
does this movie-
fictioning the idea that Jake was released earlier.
Why?
And then
Does
died
Elwood have bad
outside?
behavior?
What?
Did Elwood have bad behavior in prison?
I believe he might have.
Why did Jake get out and Elwood not?
Well, here's what I would.
Because if it's me, my presumption would be that Elwood would get out early and Jake would be like in
Yeah.
a lot of trouble.
Now,
Having not seen the first, I agree.
I don't mean to retcon this and make it like Solo, but if you remember in the first Blues Brothers,
Oh, Han
he
shot
is-
first, baby. Han shot first. JK, that movie was terrible.
But in the first movie, they make a reference to the fact that Elwood has like 107 parking tickets. So I imagine that they tacked on the parking ticket time.
I see.
That, yeah. That in my mind, I'm going, they both got the same sentence, but he had 107 unpaid parking tickets. So like, here's an extra year. So
This movie is actually, now that we're talking about it,
What are we
lot
talking
like,
about?
A lot like Solo. It is a related movie. Solo is obviously a prequel. This is a sequel that I wasn't looking for, did not want, that sought to answer questions that I didn't want answered, introduced characters that I didn't care for, and at the end of the day was like a radical rewriting of a history that I thought was cool the first time around that I now realize is straight trash.
all right, that was Blues Brothers 2000. You can go back and listen to a bunch of old How Did This Get Made episodes wherever you get your podcasts. If you like our podcast, please listen to it, subscribe to it, write a review, tell a friend. And if you also like our podcast, and you can pre-order my book, bam, there, is it here? No, it may not be there. My book, Joyful Recollections of Trauma, it kind of talks about those stories that I've been telling on How Did This Get Made for the last 14 years and then some. It's available wherever you get your books. And if you do pre-order it, you can get exclusive access to my website where I have a bunch of very cool stuff you can't see anywhere else, stuff from my childhood, stuff that will make a lot more sense once you get the book. But once you get the book, after the book is out, you won't get access to the site. Come on, people. Let's do this. All right. Tune in next week for another episode of Matinee Monday. I'm Paul Scheer. Bye for now.